by the concession stand. Please use the west gate by the concession stand. Last lap for the leader. Last call. Boys 110-meter hurdles. Last call, boys 110-meter hurdles. Second call, boys and girls 100-meter dash. Second call, 100-meter dash.
Yeah, should we see something on the monitor?
Well, that's the piece I gotta go grab.
Okay.
Right now you won't, but I'm gonna just get this started and I'll go grab that.
Okay. You want to go ahead and go?
And here's our leader on the front stretch.
And we welcome you into Roncalli Stadium for Roncalli Boys and Girls Track. First ever track broadcast here at Roncalli Stadium. Meet is underway. And just wrapping up the conclusion of the 4x800 relay to start this meet. Rob Brown and Dan Bergler with you tonight. Settle in. We got a lot of track for you tonight. They ran this first race, Dan, as a combined boys-girls race. Roncalli did not put an entrant in, so Cathedral will start this dual meet with a 5-point advantage. And Cathedral just getting the baton there for the final 2 laps, but the Cathedral boys and Roncalli boys already coming in. We'll get the official results coming up. I didn't see what kind of time you guys had for those.
Yeah, I got about an 8:32.5 for the Cathedral boys squad there. Not sure what Roncalli was on the back end, but good competitive race, I would say.
Well, we'll get the official times. Those will come up to us from the scoring area down along trackside. Kind of run you through the turn of events tonight. This is a dual meet between Roncalli's girls and boys. There are some JV races mixed in as well.
Please keep lanes 1 and 2 open.
And
1 and 2 open.
most of the races that are not lane specific, i.e. the 1600, 3200, 800, etc., those will be kind of a one for all for one, Dan. But the lane specific races like the 100 hurdles, the 100 meters, the 200, the 400, those will be run in such a fashion that the first race, the first heat, if you will, be the varsity scoring heat. And then the subsequent JV races will fill in behind. And then running concurrent tonight, we'll also have some unified track races tonight as Roncalli's unified track team, which is in its 3rd year, I believe. They will be competing with Franklin Central. So we'll also have some of that as well. But I guess first things first, Dan, we've got a great night weather-wise. Very cloudy this morning, but the sun came out here after lunchtime, and 54 degrees our temperature right now, and that is expected to drop throughout the day and as we move into the evening.
Yeah, can't get any better than this. The wind's dead. Looking awesome, so good day for racing.
Have a couple teams, JV teams and the lone girls team. We see the lone Cathedral team in this 4x8 coming around the corner for the final lap. Official times 8:32 and 8:38 respectively in the boys and the boys 4x8. Cathedral winning in 8:32 and Roncalli coming across in 8:38. So those are the times, and then the Cathedral girls just now coming across. So both Cathedral's girls and boys teams will begin this dual meet with 5-point advantages. 5-0 the score in both of those. As the scoring tonight in this dual meet setup will go 5 points for first, 3 points for second, and 1 point. Five points for the winning team, and no points for the team finishing second. Just about set to start the hurdles, and in each of the events, the girls will go first. And so the girls, a little bit of a difference here Dan, distance-wise in the hurdles, on the short hurdles, girls run 100 meters, boys 110.
Yep.
And the hurdles for the boys a little bit higher. So they'll run through the girls' heats and then take the hurdles up a couple notches for the boys. Couple people that we'll see in this first heat, this varsity heat. Anna Bauer, Tabitha Meinerding for the Roncalli girls, as well as Minna Burkhart. And then Cathedral, Bella Leos, Eris Inkrot, and Naya Conway will be in this first heat. Naya Conway was a represented Cathedral in the sectional last year in this event. See everybody getting lined up, and got a couple more cameras that will add to our lineup here as we get going. We've got our static shot from the top of the press box running right now. And appreciate you being alongside tonight's broadcast, as is the case with every broadcast here on the Rebel Media Network. It's brought to us by our friends at Marian University and St. Vincent Sports Performance, title sponsors of the Rebel Media Network. Rob Brown and Dan Bergler with you. Dan Bergler, former Roncalli cross-country and track star, went on to sustain greatness at the University of Indianapolis.
Definitely tried to.
Happy to have Dan, Roncalli class of 13, along with us tonight. Member of the boys cross-country staff.
A lot of fun to be here for sure.
The gun is up for this first heat, this varsity heat of the girls 100 hurdles. 6-lane track here at Roncalli. And they're off.
And it's the first heat for the 100-meter hurdles.
Anna Bauer is first over the hurdles, halfway down the track. Bauer with the lead.
Roncalli and Cathedral.
Cathedral in the outside lane for second. It's going to be very tight for third between Meinerding and Conway. And a lean at the line. It looks like Bauer, a clear leader across the line in first. Cathedral in second.
Yep.
And Meinerding, it looked like, edged Conway for third.
Last call for the unified 100-meter dash. Last call, unified.
We'll get the
100-meter
official
dash.
results here in a moment,
Second
but
call,
a
girls,
nice job by
1600
Anna Bauer there, Dan, to get
First
out
call,
quickly.
boys, 1600
She's more of a 300 hurdler. That's more her expertise. That's where she has represented Roncalli in the sectionals in the last 2 seasons. But she showed some great acumen getting down the track there in that first heat.
Yeah, using the tall legs and the power to get over those hurdles real quick, and got out front and finished it off.
So as we mentioned at the top, the first heat will be the varsity scoring heat. So you're limited to 6, 3, and 3, if assuming every team has 3 athletes to put out. Then the subsequent heats will be the JV heats. These athletes, we don't have all these names, so we'll identify those that we can, but you'll excuse us in advance if we talk over it a little bit, as these athletes have not been as identifiable to us beforehand. And not only are we undergoing our first track broadcast tonight ever here at Roncalli, why not, Dan, do it in a meet where no one's wearing numbers? let's just ramp up the degree of difficulty a little bit more.
Yes, it does make it difficult. Be a tight finish
So
here.
a tight finish here between Cathedral and Roncalli in this JV heat number 1. Down the track, and it looks like Cathedral in lane 4
Just squeaked by.
will just squeak out and get that victory.
Girl helpers, please click them up.
So we have just 2 heats in the girls'
And
hurdles.
move
So
them
now
to
they are
blue.
out on the track, getting ready to move the hurdles up a couple notches for the boys' heat. So in the boys, and again, as we get the official results from down on the track side at the finish line, we'll pass those along to you. But unofficially, we had Roncalli, Cathedral Roncalli in that girls' heat
Move them back to
in
blue
the
and click them up.
in the first
Next up, the
Varsity Heat. They also have to move the hurdles as the boys go an extra 10 meters here. Winning time for the Cathedral girls in that 4x8, 11 minutes 30 seconds. And as is in the case, Dan, with some local elections, they ran unopposed.
Yep.
So they took the 5 points and went on their way. Some people that we'll see in this varsity 110 hurdles. Lucas Erickson, who is a freshman. Seth Roseberry, a member of our broadcast crew here during the winter time. We see Seth out running the hurdles. We liked having Seth alongside with the headset on during the winter time, but Seth will be competing in this 110 hurdles along with Aiden Looney, member of the basketball team during the winter time. For Cathedral, Marco Roboletto, who represented Cathedral in the 300 hurdles at the sectional last year. Expect to see him out there along with Jake Langdon. And Colin Odell was slated to compete tonight, but he is unable to go, is not with the team tonight. So official times, Anna Bauer 7.22, the official time in 17.22 winning time in the 100 hurdles for the girls. Tabitha Meinerding in third place for Roncalli at 17.96. And the Cathedral athlete in second at 17.4. We'll get a name for you here in a second. So Roncalli goes 1-3 in the girls' hurdles.
Next up will be the 110 high hurdles.
Get you back some more points there. Not too bad.
That was Bella Leas, the junior, who was second in the hurdles for Cathedral. So Roncalli gets 6 points there. Cathedral picks up 3. So waiting for the athletes to get down in the blocks for this 110 hurdles. And it looks like we have a full track, so three each. Roncalli in the odd number lanes in the 6-lane track, 135, Cathedral 246. Gun is up. A little bit of a headwind coming up the front stretch here tonight at Roncalli. Wind coming out of the west. And a clean start. Down the middle of the track, it's lane 2 out very quickly for Cathedral. Erickson in pursuit in third for Roncalli, but the Cathedral athlete in lane 2 running way away from it.
Looks like Erickson.
That's Aiden Looney in lane 3, who will get second place. Cathedral in third.
Yep.
So the Irish go 1-3 there with Aiden Looney in lane 3 to take second place. So they will clear off the track of the hurdles and get set for the boys and girls 100 meters. So Aiden Looney in second place there. We'll get you some Cathedral names for you. Colin Odell, who was their top hurdler coming back. He was a late scratch tonight, so did not know who that winner was for Cathedral. But he was a clear winner, won by almost a hurdle length there, Dan. He got out early and really controlled that race from the outset.
Yeah, and good job by Aiden Looney to come back and grab second there, though. We kind of started out in third and looked like he just made his way back up in the second. So, but yeah, the Cathedral kid came out way ahead of that one. So
well, and in this meet tonight, you can't. If you're Roncalli, Cathedral's ranked in the top 15 in the state.
Yeah,
they're a very solid track team, a statewide level team. And what you have to avoid, there's going to be events that you can't win just because of talent and Cathedral having an ace at the front. But you've got to find a way to get second, get third, and not let yourself get swept and let Cathedral take all 9 points in an event.
Yep.
That's when you find yourself in a big-time hole. So, as you mentioned, nice job by Looney to pick up 3 points in the second place there in that hurdles. Getting set for the girls' 100 meters. Lexi Keller, Catherine Madrid, and Marina Babcock in the lineup for the Rebels tonight. Kennedy Miller, who was second in the sectional in the 100. She leads the Cathedral contingent. She was 15th in the state qualifier last year as a junior. So Roncalli, again, in the odd number lanes, 1, 3, 5. Maya Mincy also in this race for Cathedral. Junior, part of their 4x200 team that was 8th in the state. The gun is up and they're off. Down the middle of the track. That's Cathedral with a strong 1-2.
Oh, yeah.
Cathedral with a strong 1-2 running away from the field. And Roncalli will get third. That's Origer in third. Elizabeth Origer running in third there. And so Cathedral goes a very solid 1-2 in the girls' 100 meters. Get you some official results on the boys 110 hurdles. Winner for Cathedral in a time of 16:22.
Up next will be the second heat.
That was Jacob Langdon, a sophomore. He was the winner, 16:22 his time. Aiden Looney of Roncalli second. We mentioned Aiden. He was a 17:03. And Reboletto, Marco Reboletto, the senior for Cathedral, he was third in 17:59. So again, Cathedral and the boys' official results. Cathedral goes 1 and 3, Roncalli 2. In that boys' 110 meter high hurdles, Cathedral unofficially a first and second place in the girls' 100 meters. So after we run through the 100, we'll have the boys' 100 heats to follow, and then the 1600 meters. Actually, we'll have the 100 meter dash, 100 meter unified dash will take place before the 1600. And the 1600, I believe they will run in two separate sections. So they'll run a girls' race and a boys' race then to follow. JV heat for the girls' 100 getting set to go. While we have a moment, we'll remind you tonight's broadcast brought to us by Jockish Flowers, rooted in Southside Indianapolis. Jockish Flowers is a household name among the community and local businesses alike. Family owned and operated, Jockish Flowers delivers quality through customer satisfaction and consistently stunning displays, baskets, and stonework. Call Jockish 784-1614. A Cathedral athlete quickly down the middle of the track in this 100-meter JV heat. Cathedral goes 1-2. Roncalli filling out spots 3 through 6 in that JV heat. 2 more heats to run. And see some of the unified athletes down below us getting ready for that unified 100 meters. One of the greatest track men in Iowa State history, Ian Brown, on the PA tonight, helping us out, keeping us on our toes. Appreciate his efforts. Well, Dan, I don't know how many people are aware. Certainly the stands, nice crowd here on a Monday night, filling in. Just nearing the bottom of the hour. I don't know how many people in the stands. I know two guys like you and I who are self-proclaimed distance nerds who follow everything related to distance running.
Yeah.
Know all about Cole Hocker.
Oh, yeah.
Cathedral's national cross-country champion, Foot Locker national champion, going to Oregon to run next fall. He is slated to run in the 1600 meters, so we'll get a real treat for the fans to watch a truly not just an elite level guy, but a guy who's a once in a generation type guy that you don't see too many of his kind come through. Certainly, you don't see too many athletes of his ability level running at Roncalli on a Monday night in a dual meet.
Oh, for sure. Going to a great program that'll just make him even better. It's going to be very, very good going there. So.
Well, he put on quite a show in the FC Showcase. Great milers, boys and girls milers all across the state running on Friday night, and Hocker was the winner in the boys feature race, running a 4:12, ran a 2:04 second 800 to run away from Fort Wayne Snyder's Jesse Hamlin, who was a top 10 in the state cross country guy in the fall and was indoor state champ this year in the 3200, ran a 9:06.
Wow.
The girls' JV 100-meter heat underway. This looks to be an all Roncalli affair.
An all Roncalli affair.
All 6 Roncalli athletes rambling down the track, including Jean Searing, the homecoming queen in lane 1. Prom queen, thank you. Jean Searing, a soccer and basketball athlete as well.
One more heat.
Winning the
girls. One more heat.
named prom queen over the weekend on Saturday night. And Roncalli track and cross country's Clark Chapman named prom king on Saturday night.
Followed by the unified 100-meter dash.
Got Sam Brown, our spotter tonight, keeping us on our toes. Good to have Sam here and keep him out of trouble tonight.
Saw they hosted at the Delara factory this year. Pretty cool place to host the prom, I would say.
Absolutely. We do need to, as we work through the broadcast tonight, we do need to take some breaks at some point. So we'll call those out as once we get settled in here. One more heat for the girls 100. And then we'll get the boys underway.
Last heat of the girls.
It's like all Roncalli again.
Yep, another all Roncalli affair coming down the track of this final heat. Boys 100 meters. Expected to see for Roncalli 3 seniors, Brandon White, Alex Volk, and Austin Johnson. Cathedral had a couple of scratches, so we're not sure who they will have out there. We do know Garrett Stewart will be involved. Other than that, Chandre Sissel, who is a dynamic football player, kick return guy for them. He was a late scratch, so not sure who else Cathedral will have in that
Up next will be the
boys 100.
100-meter dash, followed by the unified 100-meter dash, and then the 1600-meter run.
Getting in the blocks for the boys 100 meters. Our starter getting everybody all set. We've got a little bit of a headwind, Dan, on the front stretch. That flag to the west end of the stadium, building a little bit. Flag coming, this track runs east-west.
It was standing still earlier, but looks like it's starting to come on a little bit.
Well, we were out here on Wednesday night of last week. The Rebels had a JV track meet against Avon, and the wind was coming in the other direction, out of the east. Starter getting everybody set down in the blocks for this boys 100-meter varsity heat. Official results for the girls, and we'll give you the girls of 100 results here in a moment as those have become official from our scorers down below. See the boys 100-meter varsity runners getting set to file into the blocks.
Gun is up, ready to go.
Yep, starter is ready to go, waiting for everybody to get set. Runners to the marks, clean start. Good start down the middle of the track. That's Brandon White
It's going to be a close
down
one.
the middle of the track. This is going to be very close. On the outside, lane 6, Daniel Woodruff is also involved in lane 5, and it's a photo finish.
Yeah.
Photo finish at the line.
Kind of looked like Woodruff got away with it, but I'm not sure.
Daniel Woodruff was in lane 5. Cathedral runner in lane 6 also looked good. We'll see how they sort that out. While they do, let's give you the girls' final results. Cathedral with a sweep in the girls' 100 across the board. Kennedy Miller, the winner, in a time of 12:32. Maya Mintz with a 12:47 in second place. And Alexis Parchman, the sophomore, she finished third in a time of 12:53. So Cathedral gets a sweep, 5-3-1
The boys 100-meter dash.
in that 5-3-1 in that girls 100 meters. We'll wait for the official results. It was a photo finish down there in the boys 100 meters. So while they sort that out and run through the rest of these boys JV 100 heats, let's go ahead and take a 60-second break. We'll go ahead and take a 60-second break and be right back. You're watching Roncalli Track on the Rebel Media Network. Welcome back to Roncalli Stadium. Rob Brown, Dan Burglar with you. A cast of thousands involved in today's production. Jack Barrett's our director. Jacob West on the cameras, along with Stefan Welch, Sam Brown, our spotter. Thank you, the listener and viewer, for spending part of your Monday afternoon with us. First ever track broadcast from Roncalli High School. Who'd have thought it, Dan?
Never in my day, that's
Never,
for sure.
Well, first time for everything.
Yeah.
So the boys' JV 100-meter heats are still rolling through. We're still waiting on official results. We had a photo finish at the line in the boys' 100. Very close. Looked like two Cathedral and one Roncalli athlete involved in that tight finish.
Yeah, it was an exciting race for sure.
Daniel Woodruff was a late add in that 100, and he was right in the mix there. But we're waiting for those results. And then following the completion of these boys JV 100 heats, we'll have the 100-meter dash in the unified track meet between Roncalli and Franklin Central. That meet going on concurrently. There's three unified events on the track: the 100-meter dash, the 400, and the 4x100 relay. There's also shot put and long jump in the unified meet. Gun up for another boys varsity heat. We got our mobile cameras down the field. We're going to try and pick up some field events as well. A couple split 3 Cathedral, 3 Roncalli in that heat. We do have another camera remote down on the field and hope to catch some field events for you as well tonight. See our long jump pit camera. Keep an eye on that. Looks like the boys are currently involved in the long jump. Aiden Looney and Aaron Garnett, the freshman, won that last heat for Roncalli in the 100. Xander Hooten, the freshman, and Aiden Looney, the representatives for Roncalli in this long jump. The way this, if you've never been here to Roncalli Stadium for a track meet, the long jump pit is on the infield in turn 2. Pole vault pit is down in turn 3, as is the high jump pit. And then the throwing rings for the shot and discus are down behind the woods, outside the stadium, just to the east of us, just past the tree line. If you've ever been to a football game here at Roncalli, the woods where the football team comes out pregame,
yep.
The shot and disc rings are just behind that tree line there, out to the east. Boy, they're still sorting out the 100-meter results. You see a crowd of people down at the scorer's table, waiting for our guy Nathan Hart to get us the results up here. And it looks like Cathedral, Kieran Bronner, the freshman, was deemed the winner in a time of 11:38. So Cathedral's freshman, Kieran Bronner, Daniel Woodruff for Roncalli in second place at 11:43.
I think Kieran was out in 6 lane in that one.
Yeah, he was the freshman out in lane 6. Yep, that won that 100 meters. Don't see that often, Dan.
No.
In those events on the track where everybody stays in their lane the whole way, you don't see a lot of winning efforts out in the outside lane.
Well, good for Woodruff for breaking it up too, getting more points there.
And he had not run. He's primarily a 400 guy on the mile relay, 300 hurdler, or an open 4 guy. He had not put down an official 100-meter time yet this year.
Here they go.
And had expressed some willingness to want to do that. And boy, he popped out his 11:43 is a team best for the season.
Wow.
Brandon White had the previous best at 11:62. So Woodruff's 11:43 is a Roncalli season best.
Coaches may look at that, and he may do more hundreds down the line here.
Well, he is slated to run the 4x1 tonight,
okay.
So we'll see him run a 100 leg in the relay, but that's a little bit different, from a jogging start and a standing start versus coming out of a block. Still waiting to get that third place finisher for the 100 on the boys' side. And they're still scrolling through the heats down there for the boys 100. Danny Lopez ends up in third for Roncalli. So the Rebels get 2.
That's big.
Yeah, that second and third place is huge for the Rebels on the boys' side in that 100 meters. So Danny Lopez is third. Right now, Cathedral on the boys' side leads 16-7 through 3 events, and Cathedral leads on the girls' side 15-6. And again, after these boys varsity heat, or these boys JV 100 heats are complete, and this looks to be
100-meter dash.
5 Roncalli athletes and 1 for Cathedral. After these are completed, we'll get the 100-meter dash on the unified side. And for those who are not aware, unified track is a recent development. Unified sports were first developed by the Special Olympics as a means of providing a quality experience of sports training and competition in an inclusive environment that allows friendships to form. It's the vision of this joint IHSA Special Olympics Indiana sports project that allows high school students with and without intellectual disabilities to collectively represent their high school and IHSA sanctioned activities, participating together on a unified team. So it's a scenario where on Roncalli's team, and again, I believe this is year number 3, that the Rebels have had a unified track team, and there are 20 athletes on that team. It's a co-ed team, so there's boys and girls, and they run the relays, they run the races whenever possible separately. We did discuss Anna Bauer winning the 100 hurdles. Yeah. And for those of you that follow us on the network, Anna Bauer, the daughter of Dan Bauer, my partner on Fall Friday nights,
Last heat of the 100-meter dash. Boys.
and the holder of the 800-meter record, Pam Bauer.
Mention that as many times as you can if she likes.
There's the final boys JV 100 heat. Host of Roncalli athletes, 6 to be exact in that heat.
Going back to that unified stuff, I think that is awesome for IHSA and just Roncalli in general.
Up
Really
next,
cool.
100-meter dash unified.
Cool program.
We have athletes from Roncalli and Franklin Central.
Well, we mentioned Franklin Central bringing their unified team here tonight, so they will compete. Yep, and sometimes, and as our spotter Sam Browns points out, sometimes the athletes run with a student partner.
Yeah, yeah.
So we'll follow that action here on the track for the unified 100, and then the girls 1,600 meters will follow. This meet moving along at a pretty good clip. We'll see a little too early yet to get field event results. Probably about a half an hour away from those. Whatever you want. If you put them up, we'll talk about them.
And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, we do have a concession stand with delicious and nutritious
And Ian Brown
snacks
plugging
over
the
there.
concession stand.
Feel free to head that way. It's on the west side of the track.
We'll be back with you here on the Rebel Media Network tomorrow night. Oh, and the gun's up. We're just about set to go. We are ready to go for this unified track 100 meters.
Here we go.
And we're off.
And they're down the track.
Unified. It's Roncalli. It's FC.
Look at that.
It's Roncalli. It's FC.
Well, that's Phil Hanley from
Phil
Roncalli.
Hanley.
He is all the way
Phil
down the
Hanley.
track. Phil Hanley.
Great job. Keep going.
Phil Hanley breaking away
Keep going,
in
Bella.
lane 5, and then Bella Gonzalez for Roncalli coming down the track in lane 3, bringing it home to a nice ovation. Ellen Schrader, her partner, running alongside. Boy,
That
Phil
was a
Hanley
great
was
first
motoring
heat.
down
That
the
was
track
a
in
great
lane
first
5. Phil Hanley, also a manager for the basketball team. I don't know if I've seen a guy who makes more half-court shots than Phil Hanley. That was tremendous. We've got one more heat, I do believe. Man, maybe 2. Looks like we've got 2 heats, 2 more heats of this unified 100 meters. Starters getting everyone lined up. Again, this is one of 2 or one of 3 unified events we'll have on the track tonight.
And we'll have the second heat of the unified 100-meter dash.
We'll have a 400 meters later on in the evening, as well as a 4x100 relay. That 4x100 relay will pretty quick turnaround. That comes right after the mile, the 1600. So we'll see that here shortly.
And here we go.
And the athletes down the track for heat 2 of this
FC
unified.
Roncalli,
Boy, FC with 3 athletes down the middle of the track. And out in lane 5, a runaway winner for Franklin Central. They go 1, 2, 3 in that second heat.
Outstanding, outstanding.
Coming up very shortly is the girls 1,600 meters. Katie Minton and Caroline Barrow, and couple seniors for Roncalli, will represent the Rebels, as well as a freshman, Hannah Cobb.
Got some high jab action, looks like.
Eli Crouch for Roncalli, the freshman, about to try a 6-1 for his PR. Crouch was the Archdiocesan champion last week at 5'10". Crouch takes a run at it. See Eli getting ready to go here. Getting his steps down, the freshman. Well, he's got that form down, Dan, that rock Stutter step, chop step to it, and he clips the
And
bar
they're
on the
off.
way up.
Here we go, runners from FC.
Oh, Jacob, you better get on.
Heat
Keep it
3
going,
of the
keep it
Unified
going.
100 is on.
Looks like all FC
And
here.
all FC. An athlete roaring down the track in lane 2.
Well done, gentlemen.
Don't have the lineup for Cathedral in this girls 1600, but Gracie Carr, a junior, she was second in the sectional last year and 6th in the regional in the 1600. So we expect her to be involved in the proceedings. Looks like we have one more heat of the Unified, maybe 2.
You want to get on the track? You want to get on the track?
We'll keep an eye on that long jump, that high jump pit, though, to see if Eli Crouch can take another run at 6'2". We'll keep you posted on that. We mentioned Crouch, the freshman, was Archdiocesan champ last week. Rebels finished second in that meet behind Ritter, defeating Bishop Chittard. Getting the Unified athletes lined up. And again, the girls 1600 meters is pending as soon as we're complete on this Unified 100.
Unified 100-meter dash will be the 600-meter run, girls and boys.
I'm not sure if they're going to run the 1600 together as one race. I think they'll run them separately. Yeah, sometimes it depends on how many they have. And we'll get this 4th heat of the Unified 100 set and ready to go. Gun is up.
And
Athletes
they're
down
off.
the track. Here they come.
Unified 100-meter dash.
Where Roncalli strong in the middle of the track. And Roncalli going 1, 2, 3 in that heat. They line him up for another go-round. Before we load up the girls 1600 meters, let's go ahead and take a 60-second break. And then we'll go ahead and come back. We'll go ahead and take a break and come right back. You're watching Roncalli Track on. Just tell your worker to bring us some. And we're back. Some of the student partners running in this Unified 100.
That was the last one, or we got one more?
We got a couple more heats here.
Okay.
These are the student partners on the Unified team getting their 100 meters in.
Have some results for the 3200-meter relay boys. Cathedral with a time of 8 minutes 32 seconds, .81.
We expect to
Followed by
see
Roncalli, 8:38 flat.
the 1600 meters will be at the conclusion of these heats.
And the girls 3200-meter relay Cathedral came out.
In the 100, when we have a moment, we'll remind you that tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Ortho Indy South, where their mission is to provide the highest quality, comprehensive bone, joint, spine, and muscle care to patients throughout the Midwest, the United States, and around the world. From diagnosis through recovery,
Last heat of the Unified.
their team is ready to get you back in the action. Choose Ortho Indy South to be your official orthopedic provider. Here's a trackside view of the Unified athletes coming down the track. And the Franklin Central athlete, ooh, he leaned into the tape too. I like that. As he came across the line. It's like they're getting the 1,600-meter athletes lined up and ready to go.
Looks like it'll be separate heats.
Yep, getting the girls athletes out on the track.
We have last call for the girls and boys.
Oh, they're going to
No,
run them
they're gonna run
together.
them together.
Second call, girls 400-meter dash.
They'll run them together.
First call,
So the boys 1,600.
Next up will be the 600-meter run. Followed by the 4 by
get the winning
100
girls'
meter
time, I'll
relay,
get the boys' time.
unified and varsity.
So the boys 1,600 for Roncalli. Trio of juniors: Ryan Flick, Sam George, Liam Irwin.
Results from the girls 100-meter hurdle.
The varsity guys.
Roncalli,
Cole Hocker,
time was 17:22, is in first place.
national cross-country champion out there for Cathedral, along with Nick Riscosi
17:40 was in second.
and Grant Ferguson. Riscosi and Ferguson, a couple of juniors.
1796. Conway from
It's like
Cathedral
Cole's
was
inside lane
17.
one.
Hocker in lane 1 with the
Man bun.
And in
Bun.
fifth place, 8th from Cathedral, 18:03.
So getting ready to start this 1,600 meters. They're running the boys and girls together. We'll get the unofficial times up here. I'll have the girls' time for you. Dan will have the boys' time. And then we'll get the official results when they send them up from the table. So there's a host of athletes on the track, but again, only the first 3 boys and first 3 girls will account in the scoring of tonight's dual meet.
We will be running the unified as one heat.
Girls, great shot down the track. Track side. Starter getting everybody all lined up and ready to roll. Some final instructions down on the track. Cole Hocker ran a 4:12 at Franklin Central last Friday night. Cole Hocker on the curb with the ponytail. Right there in the tight shot on your far right. And then Ryan Flick, the Rebel Jr. there on the left-hand side of the screen. Starter's getting everybody set, and he'll take a walk down to turn 1 to get in position to fire the gun and get this 1,600 meters underway. Boys and girls race combined here for this 1,600. Gun is up, and we're set.
And they are out.
They're out quickly. Cole Hocker out quickly with his teammates right behind him.
Very fast to the quick.
Very fast. Dan will have the boys' final time. I'll have the girls' time. Girls at the back. So Cathedral and Roncalli both with girls in this heat. Hocker taking the field down the backstretch, and he will roll through the first 200 in 29 seconds. Whew. A pretty brisk pace. See a trio of Rebels just at the edge of the shot there in 4th, 5th, and 6th respectively.
Runner of note, Cole Hocker here from Cathedral.
So Cole Hocker takes the field down the front stretch in lap 1. So Hocker with his teammate Riscosi on his shoulder, and they will take the field through the first lap in 61 seconds. Trio of Rebels not far behind, and they will come through in 67. Good clip for those 3 guys, Dan.
Yeah.
With Flick, George, and Irwin. Those are guys that are, 450s. You like to see those guys get under 450. The leader for the girls' race for Cathedral goes through in 78 seconds.
Like
I think a good pace for those guys would be somewhere in the low 450s, high 440s. That'd be a great effort for those 3 guys tonight.
Looks like Irwin moved up a little bit.
See Liam Irwin moving up on 3rd place. Ferguson for Cathedral in 3rd. And Irwin moving up on him with Ryan Flick and Sam George close behind. Meanwhile, Cole Hocker and Nick Riscosi continue to pound out the lead with Hocker on the curb and approaching the halfway point here. Girls race, Katie Minton in 2nd with a Cathedral athlete about 20 yards on her, maybe 30 yards on her on the backstretch. Here comes the leaders through the mile on the boys' side through this in this 1,600. They'll head through in about 2:09. Dan, Hocker took the leaders through in 2:08 at Franklin Central. Good first 800 split for Liam Irwin. He comes through in 3rd at 2:20.
goes.
with Ryan Flick and Sam George right behind at 222. Good first 800 for those three. And a pack of JV Rebels close behind, guys that are in there trying to find a varsity spot maybe next year. Good first 800 for them. Here comes our girls leader through at the 800 mark for Cathedral. She'll roll through here in 2:43. Katie Minton behind about 6 or 7 seconds.
Liam Irwin creating a gap on
Boy,
third.
Liam Irwin really putting it on down the backstretch here on lap 3 for the Rebels.
Cole's starting to move away
Putting
too.
a solid hold on third. Meanwhile, Cole Hocker beginning to pull away from his teammate Nick Riscosi, coming out of turn 3 with about 500 meters to go. Hocker will get the gun lap here, and he will head through the 1,200 meter mark at 3:17.
And that's the bell lap.
Riscosi right behind at 3:20. Liam Irwin, a very strong, boy, he looks really strong,
Yes,
Dan.
he does.
Coming down the front stretch. Irwin splits a 3:30. Flick and George trying to pull in the Cathedral runner who is coming back to them. Hocker steaming down the backstretch meanwhile
That's his specialty.
with a full 40-yard lead on second place.
He's moving even more.
And we've got Hocker for
Liam Irwin, though,
first place. Cathedral
Still looking
also
pretty
in
strong on the
Liam Irwin
backstretch.
looks pretty strong. Let's see if Sam George and Ryan Flick can catch the Cathedral athlete for fourth. Here comes the girls' leader to get the belt lap. An athlete from Cathedral. She'll hit the 400-meter mark to go at 4:10.
And the girls are on
And
their
Cole
bell.
Hocker
Hocker.
coming across.
4:17,
4:17.
4:18. Yeah.
Katie Minton in second place for Roncalli in the girls' race. Here comes Nick Riscosi for Cathedral. He's going to be somewhere in the 4:30 range,
Comes
4:30.
Liam Irwin down the stretch here.
Here comes Liam Irwin. He's going to be real close to, he's going to PR for sure.
Oh, that's awesome.
Irwin's 4:54 PR, and he's going to bring it across in 4:45.
Good for him.
Great effort by Liam Irwin for third.
Ryan Flick and Sam George.
Ryan Flick and Sam George, they're going to be in the mid-450s, finishing 5th and 6th respectively.
Still a good effort. Still a good effort for sure.
That's a great third place by Liam Irwin, however.
Yeah, yeah.
Here comes our girls leader from Cathedral. She's opened up a huge advantage.
And here's our girls leader from Cathedral.
She's got a good 100-meter lead plus on Katie Minton. So here's your girls winner from Cathedral. We'll get a name for you as soon as we can. Did not get their entrance in the distance races prior to tonight's telecast. And the winning time, 5:31. 5:31 your winning time. So unofficially in the boys mile, Cathedral goes 1-2 and Liam Irwin 3.
Our second place finisher here for Roncalli.
Here comes Katie Minton in second place for Roncalli. Third place still in jeopardy, or still up for grabs, I should say. Coming out of turn 4, Cathedral athlete has about 5 steps on the runner from Roncalli, but Roncalli charging hard here for third place. This is a critical point here at stake, Dan. Every one counts.
Looks like
And it's Caroline Barron
maybe
for Roncalli trying to make a late push to get a third place.
Could be at the
and
line.
could Caroline get it? It's going to be tight, and I don't think she got it. I think Cathedral just nipped her out, but we'll get the official results. So Cathedral goes 1-2, Roncalli third, unofficially on the boys' side.
After that are the 400
And in the girls' race, unofficially, Cathedral goes 1-3, Roncalli 2, ununofficially. But we'll get the official results when we have those. In the meantime, we're going to have the 4x100 relay unified. Those athletes on the track. Boy, Dan, I don't know if I've seen a more conservative and controlled sub 420 1600 than what I just saw. Hocker looked completely in control and composed.
It's a very strong runner.
4:19, the official time for Hocker.
Very
and
strong.
winning that 1600. So again, getting the unified athletes lined up on the track here. 4:17:09, the official time for Cole Hocker and winning that 1600. And pretty even splits, Dan. He was 208,
Yep.
209 at the 800. Unlike what we saw on Friday night when he came back with a 204 and needed it to pull away from Jesse Hamlin from Fort Wayne Snyder. So Cole Hocker in first, Nick Rascosi in second at 4:31 for Cathedral, and Liam Irwin with a PR and a great effort.
Yeah, Liam looked really good today.
He comes back and gives the Rebels a third place. Liam goes 4:45, which cuts a good 9 seconds off his PR. That was Katie Rushka in third place for Cathedral. St. Barnabas, a South Sider in that 1600. Former, shouldn't say former, a resident of West Hill Valley, like our good friend Dan Burglar.
Yep, where my parents live now.
Yep, Katie Rushka, a St. Barnabas graduate. So she gets third place, nips Caroline Barron for third. So official times in that girls 1600. Your winner and your runaway winner winning by 33 seconds in a very strong effort, Gracie Carr. We mentioned last year as a sophomore, she was second place in the sectional, so in the 1600. So she delivered. We expected her to be strong, and she was. And Katie Minton, a 6:03 for Roncalli in second place, and Katie Rushka nipping Caroline Barron for third in that 1600. So official results. Roncalli goes Cathedral 1, 2, and Roncalli third in the 1600 on the boys' side. Girls, Cathedral goes first and third, and Roncalli's Minton is second. So we will have the 4x100 meters here momentarily after this unified 4x100. Our updated scoring totals on the boys' side: Cathedral leads Roncalli 24-8, and on the girls' side 23-9. Cathedral leads, and again, those are just track events only. Still waiting. We'll get field event results as those conclude. And those kind of run, if you've never been to a track meet, Dan, those kind of run haphazardly.
Yep.
Especially a dual meet where you've got kids doing both.
Yeah.
So you'll have pauses, starts, stops.
Yeah.
Especially, not so much with the throwing events. Those kind of operate on their own island. But a lot of times you'll see the sprinters will be jumping, and so it'll be a sprinter's turn in the high jump, and they'll have to wait for him or her to finish their heat to come back. And I would think, I never did field events, but I would think that would be very difficult to maintain your concentration.
Yeah, I think so, and especially
and your rhythm. If you were involved and then all of a sudden things ground to a halt, then you had to come back. I would think that would be very difficult.
Well, and you're not watching what other people are doing either, so you're focusing on the event you're doing right then and there, so it for sure makes it tough.
Unified track athletes, we will hand off to their partners.
So the unified track athletes are on the track running the 4x100, handing off to their partners. We've got 4 athletes per lane on the track. Two clean handoffs for Franklin Central down the backstretch, moving fairly quickly. They'll take it down to turn 3 in the exchange zone before they hit turn 3 and head for the front stretch. So again, Franklin Central, the opponent in this unified track meet tonight with Roncalli. Here they come down the front stretch.
Here comes our leader from Franklin Central.
And Franklin Central with a huge lead down the front stretch. Getting a nice round of applause.
And Franklin Central in second.
Franklin Central also in second, coming down the track in lane 5.
Roncalli athlete coming down 2.
Roncalli in lane 3.
Gonna get third.
And down the home stretch, come on, Bella.
Bella Gonzalez coming down the track in lane 1 for Roncalli, to a nice round of applause to bring this thing home. Not sure if we'll have another unified heat or not. We had 2 heats the other night, but it looks like that is the only unified 4x1 heat we'll have tonight. They're getting the athletes on the track for the 4x1 on the girls' side. Kate Lehner, Carly Schulteis, Elizabeth Origer, and Julia Brown are the lead team for Roncalli in this 4x1. For Cathedral, Maya Mintz, Kennedy Miller, who won the Open 100 earlier today, Kayla Pitts, and Alexis Parchman. Miller, Mintz, and Parchman went 1, 2, 3 in the Open 100 earlier tonight. And they, all four of them, as Sam Brown, our spotter, points out, those four athletes were 8th in the indoor state in the 4x2.
This could be a fast
So
one then.
they've already put up some pretty impressive credentials in the indoor season. So the girls will run first, and then the boys, and then we'll have the open 400. Temperature starting to drop a little bit as the sun begins to set. 52 degrees at the start of the meet. Expected to be significantly chillier than that by the time we conclude tonight. Good to see the mayor of St. Barnabas, Clint Meinerding, stopping by the booth. Our good friend Clint Meinerding, up and about. Good to see him here. Clint's daughter Tabitha finishing 3rd in the hurdles tonight. Strong effort. Getting the lineup set to go here for this 4x100 girls relay. Again, Cathedral's team very credentialed, finishing this same group of 4, finishing in 8th place in the indoor state. Gracie Cardan, who won that 1600 earlier tonight, about 20 minutes ago, she was 11th in the indoor 3200. Expect to see Audra McKinney, who was 9th in the 3200 tonight.
I wonder if Gracie's car will come back and do that as well.
Come back on the double?
Yeah,
you would
maybe.
think, you would imagine?
Yeah.
We got everybody set here. Yep, the starter's just going through and making sure all the exchange zones are ready to go. A little difficult here. You have to make sure that everybody in the infield is down so that everybody can see the gun and hear the gun. So the starter going through his routine of getting a confirmation from each exchange zone to make sure that everybody's ready to go. So we'll have 1 heat of girls and 1 heat of boys. There's 6 athletes, or 6 lanes are full, but only 2 will score. First Roncalli and the first Cathedral across the line will score here as the varsity lineup. And again, unlike the dual meet, it's unlike in the individual events where it's scored 5-3-1, in the relay it's 5-0. So the only way you score in the relay is to win. As it was explained to me earlier, you don't get points for showing up, which makes sense.
Yeah.
I finished 2nd of 2nd. I want points. Doesn't work that way. But now we're set. Athletes down the blocks. Gun is up. Waiting for Cathedral athlete in lane 3 to get ready to go. Now we're set. Oh, somebody jumped. Couple jumps.
Kind of looked like a misfire.
Oh, yeah, it was. Good call, Dan.
Didn't hear it pop. So
we had a misfire on the gun, so try this again. Looks like there's only 1 Cathedral team. Lane 1 is vacant.
Yep.
And we have Roncalli in lanes 2, 3, 4, and 6. The lone Cathedral team is in lane 4.
There we go.
And they're off. Clean start. Roncalli out quickly in lane 5. Good start, and the Cathedral makes up the stagger in lane 4. We've got a clean exchange. They're away. Cathedral with a little bit of a lead, about 3 strides down the backstretch. The lead teams in lanes 4 and 5 respectively. Exchange down in lane in 3, long exchange, but a clean one for both teams. But Cathedral starting to stretch out a lead here. They make the turn into lane 4. One more exchange to make, and a good exchange for Cathedral down the front stretch, and they will cruise to the win.
Yep.
Cathedral with the win down the front stretch. Roncalli will finish second. And Cathedral with an unofficial time of 49.7 in that relay. 49.7. The unofficial winning time in that girls 4x1.
Always hard to do an exchange like that.
For those of you who need snacks or need
Yeah, what's the strategy there? What's the preference there? I mean, you don't want to use the whole zone.
Nope.
You don't want to make it that long. And that Roncalli exchange in lane 3 was really lengthy.
Yeah, you want to make sure you're still running forward, but also having a hand back ready to go, but not using that entire exchange. That lane 3 exchange or turn 3 exchange was definitely too long, and then let the Cathedral athletes kind of get a little bit more of a lead there.
Yeah, that's where the gap kind of opened up there.
Yeah.
Cathedral had about a 10-yard, maybe an 8-yard lead down the backstretch, and then coming out of turn 3 after that exchange, it was quickly a 20-yard lead. So now they line the boys up for the 4x100. Anticipated Roncalli's team here will be the lead team, the varsity team, Brandon White, Austin Johnson, Daniel Woodruff, and the freshman Aaron Garrett. Meanwhile, Cathedral, Chandre Sissel was slated to run. He is not available tonight. Garrett Stewart is. We saw the freshman Kieran Bronner win the 100, open 100. Davis Perry also slated to be a part of that team. Get everybody set and ready to go here. Looks like we have, much like in the girls' race, we have just one Cathedral team and 3 Roncalli teams. Not sure why, but lane 5 is vacant. Why would you go out to lane 6 if there was no one in lane 5?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Would you move over one? I can see not wanting to be in lane 1
and
run the curve, or run the curb, I should say, but I don't know why you would willingly opt to be out in lane 6 when lane 5 is vacant.
Yeah, not sure.
So Chandre Sissel, one of the top Cathedral sprinters, is not with the team tonight. We'll see how that impacts. We certainly saw him impact the Rebels in the sectional football game. He is a dynamic back kick returner, kind of a Sproles type player.
Speedy on the ground.
Yep. You got to be a certain age to get that Sproles reference. I get that. But the fact that you were nodding means that you were with me.
Yep. No. Yeah.
He's still an active player, though, isn't he?
Yeah, I forget where he's at.
I think he is. So the girls 400 will follow. Girls 400 will follow this. Then we'll have a unified 400. There's Brandon White running for the varsity squad. So the Rebels' number 1 team is in lane 4.
Okay.
That's Brandon White out there in lane 4. Still plays for the Eagles, does Sproles. Okay. Cathedral's lone team in this event is in lane 3. Gun is up. And they're off. Clean start. Good start for Brandon White in lane 4.
Yeah,
looks like Austin Johnson is going to take the baton down the backstretch for the Rebels.
Good exchange
for the Rebels down the backstretch. Johnson with a little bit of a lead.
Really good exchange.
And it's Roncalli.
And Daniel Woodruff takes the baton in lane 3. It's kind of a choppy exchange. The Cathedral athlete gaining a little bit on Woodruff as they take the curve, heading for home. It'll be the freshman Garrett. Good exchange.
This could be a foot race.
And Garrett down the front stretch, the freshman. Cathedral charging hard. Garrett looks back, but he will have enough to hang on, and the Rebels take the win. First event the Rebels win tonight on the track, as the Rebels win the boys 4x1.
Certainly helped with all those good exchanges.
Boy, those first two were especially crisp.
Yeah.
The exchange between Brandon White and Austin Johnson in 2,
Yeah,
and the exchange from Johnson to Woodruff in turn 3.
Didn't use a lot of that exchange zone and got the baton off quick enough to keep the momentum rolling. That was awesome.
So the Rebels get their first win, their first event on the track tonight in that boys 4x1.
Up next, 400-meter dash.
Getting set for the girls 400.
First the girls, then the boys.
This might be a multi-heat situation here. We'll see how many come out. Riley Pruitt and Sarah Strotbeck listed on the Rebel heat sheets for tonight. And just one name was submitted prior for the girls, so we might just have 3 people in this.
Following the boys and girls, 400-meter dash.
We might just have 3 athletes in this girls heat.
After that will be the 3.
Kinda looks
Haley
like it.
Colasso, the freshman, was the only
Last call.
name on our
Number
sheet.
400-meter dash.
So there is
Second
indeed
call,
just
girls
3
boys
athletes in this
300
girls
meter
400.
First call.
Everybody's
girls,
guaranteed to
800
score.
meters.
Yeah.
We could look at it that way.
Yeah.
So Riley Pruitt is in lane 3, and Sarah Strotbeck in lane 5 for Roncalli. Nick Perkins is down getting ready to run in the boys 400. We see Perk down there on the track. The all-state cross-country runner for the Rebels. He also ran in the 4x8 earlier.
A little speed distance for the this distance guy.
Good to see our good friend Ken Johnson stopping by the booth tonight. Body One Physical Therapy. Good to see Ken. So again, just 3 participants in this girls 400. Obviously just one heat. Winning times in that 4x1, we'll get you those here in a minute as the gun is up for the girls 400. Let's get you that. Down the track, there's Riley Pruitt in lane 3. Cathedral's Colasso going from a standing start.
And
Pruitt
they
out of the
just got
blocks
one
quickly
trip
in lane
around,
3.
400-meter dash.
1 lap here in this 400. Pruitt's already made up the stagger on lane 4 and lane 5 as they come out of the back. They come down the backstretch. Pretty even so far.
Yep.
Pruitt with a little bit of a lead, starting to pull away just slightly as the runners make their way to turn 3. They take the turn down in turn 3. And Pruitt has opened up about a 8-yard lead coming out of turn 4. Here comes Pruitt down the front stretch. Colasso from Cathedral starting to rally a little bit. Here comes the freshman Colasso down the front stretch giving chase, but Pruitt has too big of a lead. And so the Rebels will take first and third here in this 400. Pruitt unofficial with a time of 1:04.6. That's Sarah Strotbeck in third for Roncalli. So Roncalli, that's the second event the Rebels have won on the track. Anna Bauer won the 100 hurdles earlier. So Riley Pruitt with the victory in the 400. Roncalli picking up 6 points there. We're want to complete my thought and circle back, give you the winning times in that 4x100 relays. The girls from Cathedral winning a time of 50.03. Roncalli ran an even 54 seconds. And on the boys' side, the Rebels winning 44.63 the winning time. And Cathedral close behind at 45.57. So boys 400 here. Full track, 3 and 3. Down there for the Rebels, we see Grant Latimer, we see Josh Wheat, and we see Nick Perkins. Perk out in lane 5, the all-state cross-country runner for the Rebels, going to run collegiately at IUPUI in the fall.
Good program. Good
Run on the
program.
track as well for the great Chuck Keppen,
Oh,
who I
yeah.
believe has won more high school state titles than any coach.
Yep.
I think it was in the 20s, right?
It's 22 or something
22,
like that. Yeah.
22 combined state championships in Carmel boys and girls cross country. Cathedral entrance in this boys 400, Aaron Rogers, who I believe is going to run at Hanover next year.
Oh, nice.
Nick Victor, and we see R.J. O'Neill, who was out there in the
Yep.
4x8 earlier. Well, that pole vault pole
It
is
looks
getting up,
high.
starting to get up a little high there. See if we can't get an update on the pole vault.
If you want to see Chuck Keppen in action, go to Eagle Creek on Sunday mornings.
Okay.
Okay.
So we get word that the Cathedral pole vaulter just cleared his last jump.
Oh, wow. I'm
I'm going to guess that might be Timmy McGinn, who was 7th in the sectional last year, or
Okay.
2 years ago.
It's pretty high from here.
Or I'm going to say Zach Greger, who was 2nd in the pole vault last year in the sectional. That probably was Zach Greger, be my guess. So we're going to have multiple heats in the 400, so we'll take a break after this first 400 heat. But we're getting the instructions here. Should be a good 400 heat. A lot of good athletes on the track for this one. Perkins will go from a standing start in lane 5. And the starter calls them out of the block.
It's always a restless
Saw
feeling.
something he didn't like. Yeah, that was not a gun misfire as we had earlier. That was the starter saw something he didn't like, so he pulled them back.
Back on again.
Now the gun's back up. Gun is
Off
off.
we go.
Clean start. Clean start. Away we go. Rebels in lanes 1, 3, and 5.
One time around, 2 left turns and hurrying back.
Middle of the track, down quickly in lane 4 is Cathedral. Here comes Latimer in lane 3 trying to respond for the Rebels. But Cathedral out quickly in lane 3.
Perkins holding his own in
Perkins
lane 5.
holding his own in lane 5. We'll see how they look when they come out of the stagger and come off the curve on lane 4. But Cathedral with a strong effort out in lane 4, as well as lane 6. Cathedral going 1-2 down the track. Latimer giving chase in lane 3.
Roncalli 3 and 4.
Cathedral will hang on. That looks to be R.J. O'Neill in lane 4. Latimer and Wheat giving chase. They will finish no better than 3rd. The Cathedral goes 1-2 unofficially, with Josh Wheat, the junior, in lane 1, picking up 3rd place.
We will have the second heat of the 400 meter dash boys.
So we'll have a second heat of the 400. So while we do that, let's go ahead and take a quick 60-second break. Let's go ahead and take a break. We're due to take a break. We'll do that now. When we'll come back. When we come back, we'll have the 400 unified and the 300 hurdles. All that coming up after we take this quick 60-second pause. You're watching Roncalli Track on the Rebel Media Network.
Girls and boys 300 meter hurdles. Second call, girls 800 meter run. First call, boys 800 meter run.
Yeah, we just we're back here Roncalli versus Cathedral dual meet. Something just happened in the pole vault. Pretty large jump. I'm not sure what the height was.
We'll
but
try and get a report on the distance there, but the Cathedral athlete cleared that. And given his reaction upon clearing it, I think it's close. If it's not a PR, it's very close because he was very excited. And I would guess, looking at their lineup, Zach Greger was their best returning pole vaulter last year as a junior. He was second in the sectional last year as a sophomore. I would anticipate that was him. That was he, I should say. But we'll get an official report on that. We do have official times on the girls 400. Let's give you those. Riley Pruitt, the winner. Roncalli went 1-3. Pruitt, the junior, was the winner in 104.9. Second place for Cathedral was Clausen. We don't have a Clausen on our roster. That's problematic. So Clausen second and Sarah Strodbeck for Roncalli third in a time of 68 seconds. Boys JV 400 heat on the track. See a couple, it's like 5 athletes on the track, including Roncalli quarterback Aiden Leffler, the freshman, out there in lane 2.
No, that's fine. That's beautiful. I just didn't know where you were.
Second heat, 400-meter run.
Off they go here. Good start for Roncalli. It looks like lane 5.
Roncalli way out in lane 5. Leffler giving chase down the backstretch in lane 2, or lane 3, I should say. So 5 athletes on the track. Looks like Leffler in the lead as they approach turn 3. Kim will have the 400 unified dash at the completion of this second boys, or this lone boys JV heat.
Roncalli.
300 hurdles to follow. Good to see our good friend Brian Woodruff, the pride of Canton, up in the booth tonight, stopping by.
Hey, how you doing?
After his son Daniel dropped a Roncalli season best, 11:43 in the 100 tonight. He might want to run that more often. We'll see about that.
That's a top 10, too.
I think it might be a top 10 all-timer. Yeah, might be. We do know it's a season best, however. We mentioned that earlier. The previous season best was 11:62. And we will see Daniel Woodruff momentarily here in the 300 hurdles in another couple minutes. Surprised we have not received any field event results yet.
Yeah.
Looks like they've shut things down for the night in the long jump pit.
Followed by the unified.
And the pole vault, we mentioned that. That was.
He goes again.
And he's still going down there. And hit the pole on the way up with the feet. But looks like the high jump is completed as well. So we'll effort to get you some field event results, as it appears that some of those have wound down. We'll see if
In between events, if you take a look to the left, you've got a pole vaulter from Cathedral.
yeah, we'll see if we can't get you some field event results here in the next couple minutes. Have to walk those over. We do have one more JV 400-meter heat. They're down on the track. Looks like we have 4 on the track, 3 Cathedral athletes and 1 Roncalli athlete.
All with standing starts.
Last call, girls 800-meter run. Last call, girls 800-meter run.
Cathedral athlete is way away down the backstretch.
First call, girls 200-meter dash.
And the Cathedral athlete in lane 2
400-meter unified.
making up a little ground. Again, the 400 unified is next. Then we'll have the girls and boys 300 hurdles. And as we get deep into the 6 o'clock hour and the temperature begins to drop, this is going to start.
A little chilly out here.
Yeah, you can feel a little chillier than when we began. The Cathedral athlete coming down the home stretch. You see that on your trackside shot. Yeah, as the sun begins to dip behind the trees, this will become more and more. This booth will become more and more like a regional football game where all sorts of people wander up here, act like they have business, and the real reason is they want to get warm. We've seen it before. It's good. It works. Especially when we have the heater going in the fall. That's a must-have.
Looks like pole vault still going. I couldn't clear it there either.
Well, the Cathedral athlete far and away has won the pole vault. And that's the highest we've seen a pole vault bar here in this track stadium in a long time.
I would say so, yeah. I think he may go one more on it too. I think they're putting it back up.
Yeah, they're putting it back up and giving it one more crack. I don't know that they're trained to put the bar up that high. That bar is way up.
It is way up. Curious what height that is.
I guess it's at least 15 and a half, maybe.
Yeah.
Getting the track lined up for the unified 400. We'll have multiple heats of this, I believe. So getting set to go here with the unified 400.
Unified 400-meter dash, one time around.
And again, this unified track meet tonight is Roncalli against Franklin Central. So one time around for these athletes as they head down the back stretch, full track of 6 runners, all girls.
So Roncalli out front. Good contingent going on. Good group. FC girl pulling away a little bit.
As they enter the final turn here.
Yep, tight coming out of the turn 4.
FC and Roncalli.
FC runner has made up the stagger. Runner who had the lead initially will take the win here, with Roncalli finishing 2nd and 3rd, respectively.
And here they come.
We'll have at least one more heat here of this unified 400. I think, yeah. We'll have the boys unified 400. Then they'll put the hurdles on the track.
Please don't put the hurdles on the track quite yet. One more 400-meter hurdle, 400-meter dash.
We'll see during this unified. We'll see if we can get our spotter, Sam Brown, to run down to the scores table and check with Nathan Hart about the field event results. Tell him not to forget about those.
Yeah.
Nathan Hart handling the results for us down at the table, getting them up to us electronically. We'll go ahead and take a 2-minute break before they put the hurdles on the track. We'll go ahead and take a 2-minute break and come back with more for you here from Roncalli Stadium. It's Roncalli, Cathedral, and Franklin Central Unified teams all getting underway here at Roncalli Stadium. We'll have more of this track meet when we return in 2 minutes on the Rebel Media Network. And we're back. We're back at Roncalli Stadium. That's set for the 300 hurdles on the girls' side. Let's take a look at the lineups for you here quickly. Anna Bauer and Carly Schulteis in this for Roncalli. Those are the varsity starters here. For Cathedral's girls, as the gun is up, Reese Sanders, Nia Conway, and Eris Inkrot. And they're down the track. Bauer's away quickly. Bauer, who won the 100 hurdles earlier tonight. One of 2 individual winners on the track so far for Roncalli's girls. And we'll see what it looks like when they come out of the stagger here. And that's Carly Schulteis.
Yep.
Carly Schulteis in first place on the curb in lane 1.
Gaining right here. Nope.
Yep, and Cathedral's athlete gaining with 1 hurdle to go. Bauer trying to hang on for third. Cathedral will pull away for first. Schulteis in second. And Bauer at the line will get third. Let's give you some winning times for the boys 400. We had those roll in while we were in break. R.J. O'Neill was the winning time for Cathedral, 51.66. Aaron Rogers was second in 52.72. And Josh Wheat for Roncalli third in 53.91 was his time. So we just got word that Cole Hocker's 4:17 that he ran in the 1600 is the new track record here at Roncalli Stadium. Wow. That's not all bad.
No.
We're pleased to be joined by Kevin Banach, who has caught his breath and made the way up to see us.
Good evening.
One of the Roncalli assistant coaches. When he's not handling things as an administrator during the daytime hours.
Track coach.
Coach, good to see you.
Good to see you, too. Thanks for having me up here.
Glad you could come up and spend a little time with us.
Those that don't remember, this dual meet last year was about 49 degrees and pouring down rain with some gale force winds. This is a gorgeous night for a little track rivalry, Cathedral versus Roncalli.
We have another heat of the girls' 300 hurdles before the boys will hook it up. Daniel Woodruff, Sam Carr, and Lucas Erickson are set to go for the Rebels, the boys, on the 300 hurdles. Marco Reboletto and James Wayne among the entries on the boys' side. Hopefully Sam Brown found us some news on field event results. Any word yet?
More results from the girls' 400-meter dash.
Let's just take a moment and appreciate how hard this event is. Arguably one of the 2 hardest events for a girl or a boy to run, for that matter. I mean, maybe the 800's in there, but the 300 hurdles are just brutal. I mean, how your legs feel in those final 2 hurdles. Woo.
I am most impressed with the athletes that are able to keep their step counts the same all the way through. Those are the ones that you can really tell are strong physically, strong aerobically. Tabitha Meinerding in second place in this JV heat for Roncalli. This Cathedral takes first. They'll crank the hurdles up for the boys here.
Coach A, our outstanding hurdle coach here, he always talks about you want to run 1 300 hurdle race, not 10 separate races. Not a race to each hurdle. You got to run the whole race smooth, count your steps, and actually hurdle. You don't want to sprint to the hurdle and have to jump over it, sprint to the hurdle, jump over it. One smooth race. But it's brutal. A lot easier said than done.
What's the step count that coaches teach at this level?
If you can be by 10 steps in this, you're pretty solid. But once again, your rhythm, the rhythm on the back stretch versus the front stretch is just a completely different race.
Results from the girls' 400-meter relay from Cathedral, 50.03.
I also feel like it's a mental thing, too.
Oh, no doubt.
For sure.
No doubt about it.
Well, we'll keep an eye on field event results when those come up. We've not seen any come up to the booth yet. We sent Sam Brown all the way down to the finish line to check on that, and he received the proverbial runaround.
A little steeplechase for yourself.
The actual, not the proverbial, the actual runaround. No proverbial about it. Boys 300 hurdles at the Varsity Heat. Track is full, 3 for each team, Roncalli and Cathedral. Rebels in the even lanes, 2, 4, 6. Down the backstretch, the gun is off.
First heat, 300-meter hurdle.
Daniel Woodruff, the Rebel number 1 in the middle of the track, first over the hurdle in lane 3. Woodruff chopping the steps a little bit. He's still in the lead as they hit turn 3. Sam Carr with a little bit of an advantage for the Rebels out in lane 5. They run through the short chute at the east end and come out of turn 4. Woodruff stumbles a little bit, and Cathedral has a slight lead heading down the front stretch. Cathedral with a strong lead. Woodruff trying to hang on for second. Shoulder to shoulder, Woodruff charging over the last hurdle. Cathedral will win, and looks like Woodruff was nipped for second. Unofficially, Cathedral goes 1-2. We'll get the official results here in a minute.
It's like a little chop at the end. Did not help Woodruff there.
No, his steps got a little off there, and you
Yep.
kind of saw.
Next up will be the 800-meter run.
So on the girls' side, we have
Results for the girls 1600-meter
official
run.
time. Reese Sanders, the freshman, was the winner for Cathedral in that 300 hurdles in a time of 48.62. Roncalli senior Carly Schulteis second, 49.66. And Anna Bauer third in a time of 50.37. So Roncalli, Cathedral wins the 300 hurdles. Roncalli goes 2-3. We have one more JV heat of the boys 300 hurdles, and then we'll have the 800 getting down to the home stretch here on the track. Girls 800. You would assume, Dan, that we'd have 2 heats.
Yeah, most
Boys
likely.
and girls on the 800. I don't think they'd run those together. Got to run those in the box alley. And
Yep, yeah.
while we have a moment, we'll remind you that as a leader and innovator in the printing industry, Harding Porman's Group's reputation as a powerful printing resource speaks volumes about who they are as a company. Their passion and commitment has not faded over time, and as a result, the level of trust and confidence their customers place in them is unparalleled. Harding Porman Group, changing the way you think and feel about printing. 3 athletes on the track for this JV heat of the boys 300 hurdles. Dan Lauk, the Roncalli coach, running down the backstretch alongside the athletes. I'm not sure that's legal. But in a JV heat, we'll look the other way, I would imagine.
Yeah.
There's a good shot down the front stretch of the Roncalli athlete in first place. And now get the hurdles cleared from the track for the girls 800. Let's take a look at some of the athletes to watch in this one. Maya Gonzalez is on the Roncalli side for this one. See who else. Ashley Geyer, a freshman. And Sophia Shelburne as well. Looks like just 4 on the track, so 1 Cathedral athlete and 3 for Roncalli. So following the 800, we'll have the 200, the boys 200, boys and girls 200, I should say.
Yep.
Then the 3200, which no doubt they will run as a combined race.
Most likely, yeah.
And then the mile relay to close it out. Again, still waiting on some field event results. We'll keep an eye out for those.
Very curious what happened to that pole vault.
Yeah, I'm curious as to what the clearly the Cathedral athlete won the pole
Yeah.
vault, but I'm Very
Just the
curious as to
height.
what his winning height was.
Yep.
Yes. Getting the girls all set for this 800. Temperature starting to drop. We see Ryan Pellman for Cathedral down there in the infield getting ready for this 800. Pellman, who will run collegiately at Cincinnati next year, was the number 2 guy on Cathedral's cross-country team that finished second in the state. Had a great season for that team.
Yeah.
They had a phenomenal season. Cole Hocker will be in that 800 as well.
Very deep Cathedral squad on the distance side.
Roncalli will have a huge contingent in this 800, boys on the boys' side. But again, just 4 athletes in the girls' race, 3 from Roncalli and 1 from Cathedral. Official times for the boys' 300-meter hurdles. Marco Reboletto was the winner for Cathedral, 43.69 his time. Gun is up for the 800. They're off.
And that's the start for the girls 800. That's twice around.
Jacob Langdon, a sophomore for Cathedral. He was second in those 300 hurdles at 44 seconds even. Then Daniel Woodruff for Roncalli, third, 44.15 his time. Girls 800 away down the backstretch for the first of 2 laps. They can break from the stagger there coming out of turn 2. They all migrate to the curb, and the Cathedral athlete has an early 10-yard lead down the backstretch. Scores, these are, again, the track events only. Don't have any field events results as of yet, but through the 300, on the boys' side, Cathedral leads 40-15 in the scoring. Girls' side, Cathedral leads 36-19. There's the leader from Cathedral coming out of turn 4. And there she is from our trackside camera.
Beautiful shot.
Good shot by our camera guy, Jack Barrett, down there. And we'll see if Dan can give us a split here as they come across.
116.
116 the split.
120 for the Roncalli athlete behind.
It's Maya Gonzalez running number 2 for Roncalli. And the Cathedral leader stretching things out here down the backstretch of lap 2. Pretty healthy lead down the backstretch. And again, as we look down the staging area, plenty of athletes getting ready to run this boys 800. So we'll have, looks to be close to 20 guys on the track for that 800. That could be a free-for-all in the first 2 turns.
Yeah, at least a couple heats if they don't do. Maybe
they might do
one.
2. Yeah, they might do 2.
Yeah.
Or it's going to get real interesting to get to that cutoff, to the break.
First one.
I've been in some of those races
it's a free-for-all
before.
in the stagger.
Free for all.
You never want to get boxed in, that's for sure.
So the Cathedral athlete will win this 800 going away. We'll get an unofficial time as she comes across. But she is the only Cathedral participant in this race, so Roncalli will be assured of 4 points in the team scoring with a second and third place finish.
Officially 241.
2:41, the unofficial time. Maya Gonzalez coming across in second for Roncalli.
It's going to be about 250.
Okay. Okay, we have a girls pole vault results. There we go.
Hey.
Okay, girls pole vault results. Addie Hill of Roncalli wins. Roncalli actually had the only 4 entrants, so the Rebels take all 9 points. Addie Hill winning with a vault of 8.6. That might be that's a career high.
I think she
You
went
think?
9 feet. I think
Okay.
she
Did she?
went 9
Okay.
feet pretty recently within the last week or so.
Okay, so Addie goes 8.6. Lily Vaught, Allie Daffron, and Sophia Rodebeck. They all tie with a height of 6 feet. So Roncalli takes all the points in the girls' pole vault.
Looks like they're going 2 heats in the 8.
2 heats in the 8. Okay. And looks like everybody no-heighted in the high jump. So no points in the high jump. No heights cleared in the high jump. So the girls' high jump, there are no points. Okay. In the pole vault, Jack Hutchins for the boys. They're getting the 800 sorted out. So we'll give you these pole vault results for the boys.
We had a big vault down there earlier from a Cathedral Irish.
Yeah.
Jack Hutchins, who was the... Oh, that was the pole vault. That wasn't the high jump. Okay. Okay, so no high jump results of yet. So Addie Hill was the winner in the girls' pole vault. We're still waiting on the girls' high jump results, so we'll hold off on that. But in the pole vault, Jack Hutchins, who actually was sectional champion last year for Cathedral, we missed him earlier in talking about it. He won tonight in a height of 14 feet.
Okay.
14 feet for Jack Hutchins. So Cathedral takes all 9 points in the pole vault. Jack Hutchins winning in 14 feet. And Max Martin and Zach Greger tied at 11 feet. So Dan will get the gun on this 800. So Cathedral goes 1, 2, 3 in the pole vault tonight.
Dan, you think anybody goes out here with Cole Hocker?
We'll see.
You think what's the strategy here? You just run your own race, or you put a little pressure?
Yeah, you got to let Hocker go do his thing.
Yeah, he's gonna do his thing. I think.
Focus in on what you have locked in as your strategy, because Hocker will take this thing out. He'll go 54.
Very strong.
54, 55. He's a 50 flat 400 guy.
Yeah.
Kevin.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got speed.
Oh,
yeah.
When you watch him throw down, lap 3 and 4 of that mile, I mean, he is cruising.
He's got speed on the cross-country course, too.
Yeah, we were talking earlier about the 412 that he ran in that mile showcase last Friday at Franklin Central. He ran a 204 second 800.
That's incredible.
So they've got him boxed up. There will indeed be 2 heats in this boys 800. So this is the first heat, the Varsity Heat. Cole Hocker from Cathedral on the curb. Ryan Pellman also involved in this. Noah Sissel, Matthew Crotty, and Owen Herndon, the lead guys for the Rebels in the boxes.
See what Owen can do here.
And they're off.
Cole
3-box set. 3-box alleys. They'll break at the curb. Hocker is out quickly on the curb.
Pellman
close behind. Pellman in the blue jersey for Cathedral. Hocker in the white top. Pellman comes down the curb. Rebels in 3, 4, 5. Herndon, Sissel, and Crotty down the backstretch, giving chase to Hocker and Pellman.
What's he going to be through the 200?
We'll see if we can get a 200 split right now.
29, 30.
29. He was 29 at the 200 in the 16.
Yep.
So Hocker out strong early, as we would anticipate. Coming out of turn 4 with 500 to go. Ryan Pellman in second place for the Irish.
Hosts the Rebels right behind him.
Pack of Rebels behind him, led by Owen Herndon.
Looking pretty strong.
Matthew Crotty and Noah Sissel.
He's going to split a 58 through
Hocker
1.
splits a 58.
For 4, sorry.
Through the 400. 1 lap to go.
Wow. Big
Hocker
lead.
beginning to pull away. Boy, he's really stretching it out now as Herndon gives chase on Pellman in second. Herndon trying to close the gap on second. Hocker putting any doubt to rest
Absolutely.
as to who first place would be as
Oh.
he accelerates down the backstretch. Pellman starting to pull away a little bit from Herndon for second. Matthew Crotty hanging on back in fourth. Hocker accelerating through turns 3 and 4.
Another Cathedral athlete coming, passing
There's
Crotty
a Cathedral
here.
athlete charging into fourth place. But he has a lot of ground to make up on Herndon to get into a scoring slot. It's all Cole Hocker down the front stretch, as we would anticipate.
He's going sub 2 here.
Following up his 4:17 track record
57.
with a 1:57.2 unofficially. Here comes Ryan Pellman in second place. Owen Herndon will hang on for third. Matthew Crotty and Noah Sissel, fourth and fifth across the line. Great camera work down there on the trackside camera as the guys come in to finish this boys 800. as Cathedral goes 1-2, and Roncalli's Owen Herndon is third.
What a race by Cole Hawker there.
Strong
58-58 there?
58-58, yep. Girls 800 results, those are official. Let's give those to you. Winning for Cathedral, Audrey McKinney, who has made some credentials last year as a sophomore in the 3200. She wins the 800 tonight, 241 her time. Maya Gonzalez for Roncalli second at 250. And in third place for Roncalli, Sophia Shelburne in a time of 3:13. So JV 800 heat about to get underway, and then we'll have likely a host of 200 heats.
A host.
A host.
Let's just do the waterfall start for that.
That might not be all bad.
Of the boys 800-meter run. Following that will be the 200-meter dash and then the 3,200-meter run.
Well, while they line the JV guys up for this 800, we'll take a second to remind you that tonight's telecast is a copyrighted production of the Rebel Media Network and Roncalli High School. The accounts and descriptions of this track meet may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any format without the express written consent of the Rebel Media Network. That's the disclaimer.
The sun is going down.
Sun has
a little chillier
dropped
now.
below the tree line.
Distance runners love it. Sprinters hate it.
Yep, exactly. Yep, absolutely.
I think there's two guys in this booth that love it and one guy that hates it.
Yep, that's. I think that's a fair assessment.
This is my wheelhouse. You're right about
fair
that.
Assessment. So the 200 will follow up this second boys 800 heat. For Cathedral, Kennedy Miller is involved, as is Alexis Parchman. Miller won the Open 100 at the start of the meet tonight and was on that 4x1 team that won for Cathedral as well. Roncalli will have Sarah Stroutbeck will be involved, Olivia Hill as well. And we also anticipate seeing Catherine Madriz, a freshman, in that girls 200 once we get through this second heat of the boys 800. There are about 3,000 people down in turn 3 getting ready for the 200. This is like a CYO meet. It's got to take a little time to get through those heats.
Rob, if you want, I think you can sneak into a heat.
I might be able to. I've been known to drop a 32 in my day recently.
Recently?
I ran a 32. Remember when I put the spikes on at the end of practice?
Yeah,
I ran a 32.
It was memorable.
It was.
It was.
I had to sleep downstairs for a week because I couldn't walk up the stairs. But other than that, it was great.
You don't sleep upstairs.
I thought that was because Rachel just was embarrassed that you were in your Southport uniform.
That too. I had the singlet on. Well, we see prom king Clark Chapman leading the field down the backstretch.
Prom king, man, well deserved.
Well, I like it.
Yep. That was the surest bet. There were all sorts of interesting bets and possibilities this weekend, but the lock of the weekend was Clark Chapman being prom king.
That was easy.
That was
money.
a stone cold lock. I should have called my guy at the Mirage.
Yeah.
Oh, that was about a plus. That was about a minus 700. You got to put down 700 to win 100.
Still
to
leading.
bet on that one. Yep. Clark looks strong, running on the outer edge of lane 1 as he takes the field through lap 1 of 2. Several Rebel JV guys giving chase down the front stretch.
Unique fact about Clark here is that he's a long jumper as well. So
he also is, yeah.
Combo to go
I noticed that.
jumps.
I noticed that on the rosters when we were going through the prep for this. Yeah, that's not something you see often. Guys doing the 800 long jump combo. You don't see it often.
No, but does a solid job at both.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was a long jumper going back to grade school.
Yep.
The CYO jumper during his grade school days at St. Barnabas. We'll keep an eye on Ian Brown giving us field event results as they come up. So again, we talked earlier, if you're just joining us, as we talked earlier, that Jack Hutchins of Cathedral, we talked about the pole vault earlier. That was a 14-foot height that he cleared. And Hutchins was an indoor state qualifier this year and won sectional last year. He was a state qualifier last year.
Wow.
He finished third in the regional, 22nd at state last year as a junior. So runners across the line and finishing that JV boys 800 heat. So we'll get everybody lined up. The girls 200. The first heat will be the varsity heat, the scoring heat. And as we cycle through these, we'll have the combined 3,200. Then the mile relay. Chris Azar bringing things home in that 800 heat. The professor. I believe the guys call him Doc Azar, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he showed up to practice one day this spring in a lab coat.
Oh, my goodness.
No, I'm completely serious.
Our 800 guy showed up one day just in jeans.
I saw a picture of that,
Yeah.
actually. I saw a
I
picture of
think I
that on
did too.
social media.
We had about half of them were in shorts, and the other half were just in straight jeans.
Oh, my goodness.
I don't know if it's ever been done that you see your distance squad coming up out in jeans.
No,
to
No.
practice.
not usually.
No.
No.
Now sprinters, that wouldn't shock me because that'd be day off, relax.
Yeah.
Sprinters are a different group. They're a different group.
Different breed.
Yep, no question. No question.
If you show me a lazy sprinter, I'll show you a good sprinter. That's the motto goes.
I'd never heard that adage before. So
You got to be like a cheetah. What's a cheetah do all day? Just hangs out, relaxes, and when it's go time, it's go time.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's right.
Sprinters got the same mentality. They want to lay on a couch. You need me to run 100, coach? All right.
Go do it.
So getting set for this girls 200. Starting down in turn 3. Certainly in the back third of this meet at this point. Just 3 events left on the track, the 200, the 3,200, which they'll run as a combined boys-girls race, and then the mile relay to close it.
Athletes in the end zone, in the infield, as they get ready to begin, please take a knee. Please take a knee.
So again, Kennedy Miller is the one to watch here. As she won the Open 100 for Cathedral at the beginning of the meet tonight. Official times have come in for the boys 800. We'll give you those here in a second after this first girls heat. Couple girls going from a standing start here. 2 for Roncalli. Full track of 6. Gun is up, and we're off.
And here they go, halfway around.
Coming out of 3. Accelerating down the front stretch. That's Cathedral in 1-2. Shoulder to shoulder, Cathedral. Riley Pruitt in 3rd for Roncalli. But Cathedral will take the first 2 spots in that girls 200. Roncalli takes 3rd. Official times in that 800. In the boys 800, Cole Hocker officially 156.7. His official time. That's a tremendous double for Hocker tonight. 4:17 and a 156. The 1600 800 double for Hocker. Ryan Pellman 2nd for Cathedral in that boys 800 with a time of 2:05, and Owen Hernan for Roncalli 3rd in a time of 2:08. So in that girls 200, the first heat, the varsity heat, Cathedral goes 1-2. Roncalli 3rd, and there'll be a couple more girls heats before the boys ramble through their heats.
Well, we got a break in the action here. Just special shout out to Rob Brown, Daniel Burglar. You guys are doing a fantastic job. Stefan Welsh doing a fantastic job.
Appreciate that.
With
Yeah,
the live
thank
stream.
you.
I think we've kind of taken this thing to the next level. So very much appreciate all you guys are doing for Rebel Media Network, Roncalli High School, and specifically our students. You know, our students benefit from this. A lot of them were super excited, especially in a spring sport. You kind of get a little bit cheated as to how many people get to see your
Yep.
event, get to see you do what you do. And so our kids were super excited that you guys were here tonight. So we appreciate that a lot.
Well, spring sports come. The spring seasons are so compressed,
Yeah.
and they come and go so quickly. You know, you get out of spring break, and you know, as a fan or a spectator, you want to go check something. You know, you make yourself a mental note to go watch a certain team or a certain group of athletes compete. Before you know it, it's May and the season's winding down.
Right. Well, and you go from bad weather to good
Yeah.
weather
Yeah.
in the
Right.
course of 24
Quickly.
hours,
Yep.
or in the course of
Yeah.
about a month.
Yeah.
Keep him in. Keep him in.
So we mentioned Clark Chapman, the prom king, earlier. Gene Searing, prom queen, in lane 3. They head down the track with Roncalli with 5 of the 6 athletes in that race. They go 1-2. JV 200 heat.
Jack, you're gonna head up there. They're doing a third heat up there. I'm gonna go to Jacob. I want Jacob.
Still waiting to get some field event results.
Jack, get your shot.
Okay, looks like a lot of the throwers are coming back out of the woods there in that east end.
One more heat of the girls, 200 meters. Once again, those in the infield, please
Do
take
the
a
same
knee.
thing. So get your shot ready for when they come around.
So the only field event official results we have are in the pole vault.
It appears that Unified Track is making its way over to the long jump
Yep.
pit
Yeah.
for their
Yep.
final event of the evening.
Yep. Rolling through. I know we'll see Logan Wong leading that Roncalli contingent for the boys in the 3,200 meters here in a little bit. Interested to see what Logan
Yep.
can put together tonight after just a fine effort on Tuesday night. He PR'd in 4:47 in the Archdiocesan meet at Chittard with 1,600. A great effort. And Dan, we see him in the fall. He's a kid that has all kinds of ability, just needs confidence.
Yep. Yeah.
And once it clicks for him from a confidence standpoint, boy, he's got a lot of upside.
For sure.
Ready for when they make the turn.
2 more heats in this girls' 200. 2 JV heats to go. 4 Roncalli athletes in this one.
3, 2, 1. I'm on Jacob.
Coming down the track,
Keep him in.
shoulder to shoulder.
And I'm going to Jack in 3, 2, 1. I'm on Jack.
And it's like Roncalli athlete in lane 2 will take the win here.
Okay. Jacob.
So one more JV heat for the girls, and the boys will tee it up. Like Brandon White and Austin Johnson and Alex Volk scheduled to appear. Is Volk available tonight?
He is. He is.
Okay.
You know, a dual meet, people don't really understand this about track and field. Dual meets, while significant, we're running against a rival.
Yep.
A lot of the thought is we're training through this meet. So
No
you're gonna see
question.
guys that are in events that they're typically not in. You know, Cole Hawker, he's probably not going to run the 800. You saw him in the 800 tonight, help with his speed. We've got a lot of our mid-distance guys. They're going to run the 200 to build on their speed. So Alex Volk, Brandon White, those guys, typically they're good 200 guys, but they're training for the 400 tonight.
Yep.
So scheduled to be the frontline varsity guys for the Rebels in this boys 200. Brandon White, Austin Johnson, and Alex Volk for Cathedral on the pre-meet roster. Garrett Stewart, Aaron Rogers. Rogers was second in the 400. And David Perry. Those are the names we were given prior. Final heat, 4 athletes on the track for the girls JV 400 heat. Now we're getting set. Sun coming back out as well.
So you're going to see, you know, Brandon White, Austin Johnson, Alex Volk are really, their major focus is the 400 tonight, training night, but they're going to come back in the 4x4 later. Once again, trying to just train them up. We think we got a decent shot at that 4x4 to move on through regionals and possibly have an outside shot at the state meet.
Well, and as a guy who was a sprinter here, I'd be interested in your take. Dan and I were talking earlier, just from our sprinter layman point of view. The exchanges in that 4x1, especially the first and second exchanges, were really crisp tonight.
Yeah,
when
they
the Rebels won that 4x1.
Especially considering Friday night we dropped the baton up in Lafayette. We've had some work to do this week.
Yep.
But they're making improvements. You know, you're constantly shuffling guys around and trying to figure out what works, what doesn't work, who's running what leg. You think 4x1, it's all the same. It's not. You can get that second leg to be a longer leg than the third one. So it's a little bit of a puzzle, but they're starting to piece it together.
So the boys getting ready for the 200 here. This is the Varsity Heat. See Brandon White on the curb. Austin Johnson out in lane 5. Hard to tell who that is in lane 3. That's not Volk, though.
It is not. He's holding blocks.
We'll pick it up as they come down the front stretch. Track is full. 3 and 3. Gun is up, and they're off. White aggressive on the curb lane, taking the stagger quickly, coming down the front stretch. Let's see how they shake out when they come out of the stagger. White, all sorts of room down the right side.
Oh, yeah.
He's got room to spare. That's Ryan Brandenburg in lane 3, but it's Brandon White. Lane 6 is charging for Cathedral. Lean at the line. It looked like White got him.
Unofficially 22-9.
22-9 unofficial.
Tell you what, Brandon White has had a fantastic year.
Yeah.
He struggled a little bit as a junior. He had a solid season, but this year he has made leaps and bounds. His confidence right now is super high. He is a huge leader for us. Has just been a rock star for us wherever we need him, 4x1, 200, 400, 4x4. Really taking the lead for us and having a great senior year. And that's what you want for your seniors as they wrap up their final stretch here as being a Roncalli Rebels, for them to have a great year. And it has been awesome watching Brandon White put a great capstone on to a career here at Roncalli.
Well, Brandon, the unofficial winner. Final times in for the girls 200, so let's give you those. Alexis Parchman was the winner, the sophomore for Cathedral, in a time of 26.4. If Kennedy, no Kennedy on our roster, that's unfortunate. Kennedy of Cathedral second in time of 26.65, and Riley Pruitt for Roncalli third, 28.06. Did not see who was third in that boys race that just completed. Did you guys catch third place by chance?
I did not.
Pretty confident that Brandon White was able to hang on for first.
Yeah.
And Cathedral, the athlete in lane 6, was second, but did not see third. There was a jumble right at the line.
Yep.
And it'll be tough to call. We'll get the official results here.
Unofficial 22-9, man, that's moving.
Yeah.
And, one of the reasons we have him start our 4x4 team is because he's so rock solid. That 3-turn stagger in the 4x4, it's difficult. That can mess with kids' heads. He's mentally tough, and he's so quick out of the gate. Great for us to start with him in the 4x4. He doesn't like it because they all want to run the split. They want that running start.
Yeah.
Well, that would be a great if that holds up. If it holds up as a subs 23, that would stand out as a team season best so far, as the previous season best was 23.7. So anything under 23 would certainly be a team season best for the senior Brandon White. JV 200 heats going on right now down the track. The boys.
Alex Volk.
Yeah, Volk is in this second heat. Out quickly. Good start and good finish for Alex Volk.
Yep.
I'll tell you what, he's another one that has stepped up huge. Did he
run track last year?
He did.
Okay.
Yeah, he's run the last few years, and so this year he's kind of found his niche. His confidence is high. Leadership is outstanding. He's worked extremely hard from day one since he walked into Roncalli, and it is starting to pay huge dividends. He's split a 52 already in our 4x4.
Nice.
Did a great job with the indoor qualifying 4x4 team.
And he's going to be part of that group that comes back later, right, for the 4x4?
Oh, you talk confidence. That's, I think, one of the biggest keys to all of it. You got to get that confidence first, then go from there, and it just kind of leads to everything else.
Certainly all three of us can speak to it, but track is a humbling
sport.
Yeah. It is a humbling sport, and so confidence is key, but that confidence can be ruined in one race, one bad week. You go up against some of the best, kind of start to falter a little bit, and it can crush you. I mean, it's an anxious-filled sport, you know. It's you by yourself on a track.
Yep. Looks like the third JV heat going on, just about to start here.
Yeah, some athletes that we'll see upcoming in the 3200. Cathedral, Nathan Filaday, Colin Monosmith, Nolan Clark, or Malcolm Clark rather, among the athletes listed. We mentioned Logan Wong, Max Peebles, Michael Runholt will be leading the Roncalli contingent on the boys' side.
3, 2, 1. There we go.
Leaders coming down the track in this.
Scott Cahill here.
Yep, Scott Cahill, sophomore,
3, 2, 1.
taking down the middle of the track.
Papadria, Aiden Leffler.
Yep.
Could be a future
Yeah.
backfield here in the fall.
Could be, yeah. Very well could be.
Well, you take these races as, like you said, getting better.
Yep.
And
I'll tell you what, and Coach Antolin, Coach Litz do a fantastic job
Yep.
of that. Once again, keeping focus on kids getting better, the productive struggle. Just got to grind out track season a little bit.
yeah.
And also, getting ready for, May comes big time invitational time, county time, sectional time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sneaks up on you quickly, and once you get to May, the stakes go from 0 to 40 really quick.
Yeah.
Yep, you're exactly right.
Lucy Reesner, Katie Baker, Allie Wilhelm, and Adele Burkhart among the entrants for Roncalli's girls in the 3200 that we'll see here momentarily. After the boys work their way through these JV 200 heats.
No bias towards it, but 32 is probably one of my favorite races. So, been in a lot of them.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I would contend, I was talking to some of the guys earlier in the season. I would contend that the 3200 indoors is one of the more difficult high school distance races to run, only for the fact that you have to concentrate for 16 laps. And it's very easy to drift.
5K in college is tough indoor.
5K indoors.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
25 laps.
25 laps on a 200-meter track.
They should just send you in another mill.
Come back, tell us how it went.
Yeah.
6 Roncalli athletes across the track, lanes 1 through 6.
How about this? This entire heat is multi-sport athletes.
Aiden
yeah.
Looney
Basketball, football,
and
soccer.
lane 5 leading the field through.
That's the best thing.
Luca
Multi-field.
in lane 2 there, foreign exchange student from Italy,
Oh,
Yep.
competing for the first time in a high school track meet.
Tonight his
Am I
first
right?
meet?
Tonight's not his first meet, but the first time competing in a high school track. Soccer's
Yeah.
huge over there. Loves soccer.
yeah.
Right.
But he's loving it.
That's
Great
awesome.
kid. We are blessed to have him here at Roncalli.
Well, we have the official results in the 200, and Aaron Rodgers is the winner over Brandon White
Oh,
by a deficit of, by a margin of just 0.03 of a second.
oh man.
So Rodgers comes across in 23:16. Brandon White still runs a Roncalli season best of 23:19. And then in third place for Cathedral was Garrett Stewart, the junior. He was at 23:81.
Still a good time number put
Yep.
up there by Brandon White. Good time number.
So Cathedral goes 1-3, Roncalli 2 in that. Boys 200, that's the tightest margin of the night. Just 0.03 of a second.
Last heat of the JV 200 here.
This is our last heat.
Yep. Already off. About 100 to go.
Looks like they're loading up
Oh, there's
another
one more.
down there,
Never mind.
yeah.
Looks like they didn't even see it.
First place was Gutierrez. Garrett Haas from Roncalli.
Nice job, Jacob.
Workman from Roncalli.
6 runners in the on the track, all from Roncalli, coming through in the second to last 200 heat on the JV side. One more 200 heat, then we'll get the combined 3,200.
And we'll have one more
Okay, I'm up,
heat of
Jacob.
the 200 meters.
3,
Up next will be then the 3,200 meter run.
Sounds like we have some girls' discus results.
There you go to Jack. 3, 2, 1.
For the long jump boys, we had
We got
Lucas
some-
from Roncalli in first place.
Field event results being read over the PA. We'll pass those along to you when we get them.
Second place. And Quinn
One more heat on the boys 200 JV, and then we'll have
in third place.
the combined 3,200. Interesting to see what what transpires there. Both teams going a little bit deeper in the roster in the 3200 tonight.
Yep.
Cathedral using a lot of their frontline guys, and Hocker and Pellman, Rascosi, O'Neill in the shorter events.
Yep.
Likewise, Roncalli running Nick Perkins in the 4x8, and then the 3 juniors, Liam Irwin and Sam George, Ryan Flick in the 1600.
I see coming in here.
It's a great opportunity for some other guys
Yeah.
to step up and see
Certainly.
what they can do, be in a scoring position.
Well, and like it's a working thing. Tune-ups for other races too.
Yep.
It's early-ish in the season, so like we said, talking about invitationals coming down, this is key time to kind of get those times in.
Well, especially they're going to run one more heat.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
Jack, go ahead and head up there.
And for some of those guys, Dan, it's an opportunity.
Yeah.
Especially for Roncalli guys like Michael Runholt, Logan Wong, Max Peoples. It's a chance for those guys to score points
Right.
in a dual meet at the varsity level.
Right.
More so for Peebles and Runholt than Wong, as Wong was in the scoring at the 1600
Yeah.
at the Archdiocese meet last week. But it's a great opportunity for some of those guys, not just to lay down a PR and lay down a good time, but to also factor into the scoring tonight. Final heat, what seems like the 32nd heat.
I'm going to Jack in 3, 2, 1. I'm on Jack.
And we'll have the combined 3200 and then the 1600 meter relay.
3, 2, 1. Got it.
And they're off. So Cathedral went 1, 2,
3, 2, 1.
and Roncalli third in the girls 200. Cathedral went 1, 3, and Roncalli second in the boys 200.
It's like Noah Schaefer.
Noah Schaefer and Hal there for the Rebels.
Yep,
Little plug, cousin-in-law there.
there you go.
This race.
So here comes the 3200. They'll run it as a combined race.
3,200. Got him there.
Before I head out, once again, thanks so much. I'll let you guys do this 3200 thing. That is a foreign event to me.
Fair enough.
That is when we are focused on the 4x4. So I'm going to go talk to my guys.
Go down and get your guys ready to go.
Go get
Once
him.
again-
Coach, we appreciate you taking a
Yes.
few moments for us.
Yeah, fun always. Once again, thanks a lot for all you guys do and supporting the Roncalli Rebels and showcasing all the great blessings and gifts that our students have. We appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Coach Kevin Banach taking a few moments for us tonight. Appreciate Coach stopping by.
Out of the break. When it looks like they're ready, then I'll go. Let's do that.
We'll get him on the air more often. Sam Brown will get us some field event results. I know he's working hard on getting those for us. We'll catch you up on those during this 3200. Dan and I will get the times. I'll get the girls' finish time. Dan will get the winning time for the boys here. We'll run 2 watches and keep you updated as they run through. Looks like the boys' field is pretty expansive. Girls' field not as much. We'll sort that out for you as they come across. I'm not sure Cathedral has anybody on the line for the girls' race. Doesn't look like it, does it, Dan?
Look like it.
Looks like 3 Roncalli girls out on the far edge of the track and a host of Roncalli and Cathedral boys. So looks like Roncalli will sweep the 9 points on the girls' side.
We saw a lot of those girls doing a workout before this race, so in this meet tonight, so I'm not sure strategy-wise.
Yeah, I'm surprised Cathedral doesn't have one entrant in this race.
Yeah, me too.
Tilt up.
Starter getting everybody all set. Tim Christman, our clerk of the course down there, putting his 2 cents in, as we would anticipate.
It's like Logan Wong on the inside, lane 1.
Yep, he'd be the first seed for the Rebels in this group, along with Max Peebles, who's just 2 over from Logan, off the curb.
Yep, tough spot there. You don't want to get boxed in where Logan is. Just
Yeah, you gotta get out
gotta
fast.
get out a little
yeah.
fast.
Yeah, probably faster than you'd want to.
Yeah.
In this race, but again, you can't find yourself trapped on the curb early, especially with this much traffic.
Yeah.
Put yourself in a position to run toward the front and be flexible enough to get off the curb when you want, not when it's too late.
Yep.
So the gun is up for this 3200.
We're off.
And they're out. Cathedral out quickly. Roncalli right behind.
We have some results for the discus, boys discus.
Again, just 3 girls in this race, all Roncalli athletes, so the Rebels will take a sweep there. Roncalli will see how many points they can get in the boys' side of this. Like 15 entrants total on the boys' side in this 3200. With 9 Roncalli athletes and 6 from Cathedral. It's Cathedral's athlete that's in front.
Logan Wong, Max Peoples, second and third right now.
Okay, I'm going to the turn, 3, 2, 1 on the turn.
So 8 laps in this 3200, 8 laps around the track here at Roncalli Stadium. So again, if you're just joining us, Roncalli went
Cheer Logan on, cheer Logan on.
Cathedral went 1,
Keep it there.
3, and Roncalli 2 in the 200. So they're through the first lap, 7 to go. Here come the 3 from the girls' field. All Roncalli athletes coming through the first lap, and they will split at 91 seconds. Boy, the Cathedral athlete getting out to an early start here.
Yep.
He's opened up.
What you kind of want to do in a 32, strategy-wise, laps 5, 6, and 7 are probably the toughest going into the 3200. Really got to dig in and mentally and physically dig in on those laps there.
We could take a break here, too.
Cathedral athlete coming around the corner. Got a sizable lead now.
About 25
Yes.
yard lead or so.
Yep. Still a good pack in the backside.
Well, what's
Second, third.
problematic is when you get out by yourself and you get kind of
Yeah.
caught between groups, that can be very difficult.
Oh, yeah. Call that no man's land.
Yeah,
in that.
Logan Wong is in second place for Roncalli, and he's kind of in that spot right now.
Yep.
Max Peebles in third with the Cathedral athlete right on his hip. Michael Runholt from Roncalli only about 4 steps behind them.
Going through the 800.
They'll come through the 800. Second place
237.
Wong in 236.
Cathedral athlete making another sizable push, it looks like.
Yeah, he's opened up a pretty sizable lead.
Okay, zoom in on the girls for me.
Here come the girls' pack of 3, splitting through the 800, and they'll be at about 310, 312.
They don't know you're doing that. Okay, I'm going to Jack and 3, 2, 1 on Jack.
Yeah, the race is down the backstretch right now.
Oh, yeah.
That's where the pack is, as the Cathedral leader has opened up a pretty sizable advantage.
Yeah, almost 100
No,
meters
they're
or
gonna
so.
need it when the pack turns that corner.
Looking pretty strong, too.
Well, I got Jack on the lead.
He's in a good rhythm.
Yep.
Which is what you want if you're going to run from the front.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And in a 32, you want that rhythm.
Comes to the turn here. Once I see Logan on the turn.
He hits the 1,200 meters in 340.
Turn.
It's just a little under 5-minute pace.
Yep.
This is the end of the third.
Definitely the race for second right now.
Let's go.
Logan Wong, whose PR is 11:08 in the 32. Love to see one of these guys get under 11 tonight for Roncalli.
Yeah.
Either Wong or Peebles.
4:03 for Wong.
Field strung out behind Logan. About 4.5 laps to go, just a little over, of this 3,200 meters. Sun really starting to step behind the trees off to our right,
Good job, Jack.
the western sky.
That's a wonderful sun rays there.
Our leader from Cathedral coming around. He'll hit the halfway point here in about 100 meters.
Come on, Jack.
Running right up on our girls' leader.
He'll be close to sub 5. He'll be sub
So
5.
we'll have 5 laps to go.
Coming in at the half at 4:56.
4:56, the mile split for the leader.
Going to Jacob.
Logan Wong still hanging on to second place. Max Peebles of Roncalli in third.
Okay, I'm on Jacob.
Michael Runholt and a runner from Cathedral battling for fourth.
My guy right there, Logan. Logan and Max.
Wong approaching the
And Kai.
1600 split
Right around 5:30.
right around 5:30. Let's see if he can run a negative split
Yeah,
and come back and get this thing under 11 minutes.
starting to make a little bit of a separation, it looks like.
You know, he and Peebles have made a little bit of a move on third.
I'm going to Jack in 3, 2, 1.
So we have some results for you from the field events that we'll scroll through. So on the high jump side, Nia Conway is the winner for Cathedral in the girls' high jump. She goes 4.8. Roncalli gets second and third as Allie Daffon and Grace Whitaker each clear 4'6". On the boys' high jump, Eli Crouch of Roncalli wins. He goes 6 feet. Cathedral goes 2 and 3
3, 2, 1. I'm on the girls.
as Antonio Lisenby and Aaron Rogers go second and third respectively. Lisenby goes 5'6", Rogers goes 5'2", and he finishes third based on fewer misses, as Ryan Brandenburg of Roncalli also finished third.
Sticking with
So those
Jacob
are
on the
high jump results. Here's our discus results. On the girls' side, Gretchen Garataz, the winner,
cheer on Kai, too.
93
Roncalli guy.
feet 7 inches for Garataz. Second place, Val Workman of Roncalli, 92 feet 10. And third place was Emily Papandrea of Roncalli. So the Lady Rebels sweep the discus.
All right, I'm going back to Jack.
And on the boys' discus,
I know exactly what I want.
Connor DeMoss of Roncalli, your winner. He threw 115 feet 2 inches. Sam Runholt of Roncalli, second place, the freshman.
Leaders with 2 laps to go.
And third place for Cathedral, Jake Schammer for 103 feet 3 inches. So the Rebels go 1-2, Cathedral third.
Tighter, Jack.
And pole vault, we already have those.
Right there.
So I think we're good. So the long jump and the shot put are the ones we don't have.
Yeah, he's going to start laughing.
About 2 to go.
2 to go. Let's go back to this race. Wong is still in second.
Yep. Leader's about 1.5 to go now. The back stretch.
Okay, yep.
Turn 3.
Down the back stretch.
I'm on Logan.
He's going to get,
Peoples-
the leader's going to get the gun here, right? Wong and
Yeah.
Peebles have 2 to go.
They have 2 to go.
Come on, Logan.
2 to go for Wong and Peebles. Let's get you your girls' long jump events. The Rebels sweep that on the girls' side. Kate Lehner, the winner, 15-1. Carly Schultheis second, and Julia Brown third. So the Rebels go 1, 2, 3 in the long jump. On the boys' side, Xander Hooten, the freshman, was the winner. Bell lap for the leader for Cathedral in this 3,200. Aiden Looney second.
Jack following. This is
Aiden Looney second, and Quentin Cannon of Cathedral third in the long jump. Hooten's winning jump 18.7 3/4. So shot put is the only field event we don't have results for yet.
I think the leader is Nick.
Is it Riscosi?
Yeah, it looks like him.
Okay.
Out
That
there,
does look like, yeah, it does look like it.
coming
You're right.
about 200 to go.
Yep.
At 9:15 right now.
So 200 to go.
leaders on turn 3 right now.
Peebles and Wong still have